we need to do something stupid this year.
The last time I saw this, I was in a deposition.
Goes into someone's sack, gets a ball.
Didn't he absolutely munt himself?
The blow that you had taken to your groin.
We were famous, of course, for breaking new broadcasting standards and rules.
This might be a human rights abuse.
You know, then we would have had 7 new people inside the caravan instead of just the 6.
Which made global news, actually.
The smell that I smelled that day, I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Hi, I'm Joe Jury, the Digital Content Director of the Alternative Commentary Collective.
So, Joe, I've just got a video for you to watch. Can you describe what's going on this video? Just take the video.
I never want to see that video ever again. I was there that day and...
Oh, look, the last time I saw this, I was in a deposition. What we're looking at here is the world first. G-Lane was talking about doing this for a while. I didn't actually think it was really going to happen. He was really intent.
The great thing about the ACC is that we were famous, of course, for breaking new broadcasting standards and rules.
ACC head G-Lane had 3 children. He didn't want to have any more children. He had a very busy schedule of commentating coming up. It was summer, obviously. It was the busiest time of work for him. And he just managed to shoehorn in 2 things, didn't let the team down.
So I got a vasectomy while commentating cricket, pretty much.
So we're just going to have a change in commentary as Jason Hoyt takes a break, and I'll take up commentary as will ACC head Grot Lane, live having a vasectomy.
Here comes Hazelwood into Neesham, and Neesham just works it off his pad up to the mid-wicket, and there's no run.
Well commentated, Mike. That was good effort. That was unfortunately Broome that was facing that delivery.
Hazelwood.
Literally the ball by ball, wasn't it? And I have to be honest with you, actually. I have a real affection for Mike's balls. They've rested on my head in a commentary once, I recall that much.
Basically, getting vasectomy with that anaesthetic so he could commentate to a decent level, which is ironic because if he wasn't getting vasectomy, he probably would have had about 13 beers by now if he'd been in the caravan.
And Mike, we've heard that they had to bring another doctor in for microsurgery. All of a sudden, a microsurgery specialist.
Yeah, the look on your face is quite something.
He looks as though he's receiving oral pleasure.
You look like you're getting pleasure as Faulkner comes in again, bowls to Broome, who works it into the leg side for a single.
Could he be the first man to ever climax during a vasectomy? Because that would be a disaster, surely.
Can I just tell you, Mike, we've got you on the big screen here at the cricket now.
Here comes Hazelwood into Neesham on 48. Neesham down the pitch, over midway for 6. 6 is 50. 50 for Neesham at Eden Park. What an innings from Hazelwood now. None to 35, and I can't feel my ball.
But I felt sorry for Joe Jury, who had to actually film the whole thing and smell the burning vas deferens.
The smell that I smelled that day, I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
I was fixated, and it was a first. It was a world first. Nobody has ever commentated and had a vasectomy at the same time. So what you were witnessing there was someone commentating on a ball going down a pitch into a bat, whilst a doctor goes into someone's sack, gets a ball, produces it out, gets his own bat of sorts, a scalpel, and then takes away the vas deferens, cauterizes, and then ties it back up, and then sews it back up, and away you go.
G-Lane's vasectomy while commentating, which made global news actually. It was the weird story of the world for a week. And the question was always asked globally, why? Like, why?
At the start of the season, I sat down with Jeremy and we said, we need to do something stupid this year. Let's do something relatively stupid.
Well, it makes perfect sense to me.
You know, a guy commentating a cricket match whilst getting a vasectomy, I think, was a first in any international cricket, and typical of the ACC in general.
this might be a human rights abuse. It doesn't matter that Lane's decided to do it himself. It's like, I'm not sure if this is legal. Certainly it wasn't safe.
There was talk about doing the vasectomy in the caravan itself, so he could be live at the ground doing the commentary, win-win for everyone. I think it was a hygiene thing. They went in there, the doctors, the medical people, medical staff, went into the caravan and basically said this is unfit for anything, really. Cricket commentary, let alone a vasectomy.
Apparently it was an unsterile environment. In fact, it definitely was an unsterile environment. You wouldn't want to take a black light in there. If you opened up anything in there, it's going to be full of disease.
Many people actually believe that's where COVID may have begun. But that's controversial, and I don't want to be quoted on that.
Did it hurt? I think it hurt.
I think he's had a vasectomy reversed now, and then he's had another vasectomy after that. So he's had a vasectomy reversal. Now he's back in a state of vasectomy, which is a good thing.
Well, so G-Lane's getting a vasectomy, and a streaker nearly got his own vasectomy right in front of the caravan. It was a full nude streak, which I really appreciated.
Did a good streak nude, like he should be.
Not clothed, wasn't filming it for TikTok, full nude, classic streaker.
And he ran from the far end of the field, and he sort of lined up the ACC caravan.
Yeah, great moment for us, I thought. We instantly recognised the opportunity to do the right thing and to give that streaker diplomatic immunity.
I think the caravan by this stage, we were sort of the commentators of the people. We were seen as the broadcasters of the people in many ways. So the caravan almost was like a safe haven.
We had said anybody who streaks in this game can get sanctuary inside of our caravan. We offered the sanctuary. It was almost like a Julian Assange situation.
We were running an embassy that the rules of the rest of Eden Park, and we were smuggling booze and we were doing all kinds of things. We were running a different set of laws within our caravan.
And we opened the back door and we tried to get him, entice him over, but he was being chased by a number of security guards.
It was a heroic run from recollection, and he got some real pace up, but literally stumbled at the final hurdle. And I think we got that on video as well.
He's going to make it, he's going to make it. Like, he's going to make it, he's going to make it. We had the door open, we were signalling him in, but at the last second.
And didn't he absolutely munt himself?
And then he ground himself in the complete nude along the gravel and concrete right beside our caravan, and he came to a natural stop. So he was done. But then this giant security guard decided to finish the deal, came careering over and just slammed down on top of him and ground the poor man's downstairs.
Paul Ford, God bless Paul Ford, always a sensible man, leaned out the window and says, get that man a goddamn hat.
6 guys on top of him?
The man needs a hat. Get the man a hat. The man needs a goddamn hat.
Give him a Steady the Ship Williamson hat.
He'd been roughed up severely and he just needed a hat to cover his franken beans.
It'd be interesting to see what would have happened if he had got in. Then we would have had 7 new people inside the caravan instead of just the 6.
In that game against Australia, I didn't cover myself in glory as a commentator. It was a very, very tense game.
I can't specifically recall what he said. I just remember the rage behind it.
We all let ourselves down sometimes, and you got to remember, as a commentator, you're under a lot of pressure. And I do recall Matt's commentary at the end of that game being a little bit heavy.
I've tried to erase it out of my memory, but
you've basically won the game, and then there's some arsehole that's just staying in, not scoring any runs at all.
And I think Matt feels anxiety quite profoundly, and Stoinis, together with Hazelwood, looked like they were going to take Australia over the line, and then it was a run out, wasn't it? It was a run out from, that's right, Kane Williamson, and Matty just let it all out.
I think he was really basically saying, put your foot on his head, kill him.
Stomp on his head, stomp on his head, stomp on his head.
Well, here comes Southey, last ball of the over to Stoinis. Stoinis drives.
Run him out.
Yes, he's got it! He's got it! My God, Williamson! We got him! With the boot, stomp on his head! Stomp on his head! Got him! Stomp on his head!
Stomp on his head, and that's not what you don't learn that in commentary school. They don't teach you that kind of stuff, that kind of thing. That's all. In fact, they do. That's one of the things they say. Don't do that.
It was a turbulent moment for him, for sure.
And sometimes something comes from Matt that's directly from a dark place, and you cannot predict it will come, but it just comes. And you know that it's honest. It's got a weirdly disturbing honesty about it. And that was one of those moments. Matt was expressing an emotion that none of us really wanted him to share.
Stomp on his head. Does that still exist, that piece of commentary? That's concerning.
Like, in a way, I stand by my call to stomp on his head. I mean, it would have been out of character for Kane Williamson to stomp on his head.
It was a disturbing thing. A lot of weird things happen on a cricket field. Sometimes weirder things happen in a comm box, and I'll never forget that.
But fuck him, stomp on his head.
The box was right next to the police.
I think there was concern that there was some contraband that was being brought in.
We'd been behaving terribly for a long time.
What commentary team brings in like a $500,000 brick of cocaine into their studio?
We were incredibly focused going into that.
Never been as high. The confidence. We got raided by the cops.
And left me as the intern in the commentary box.
Terrible idea. I can't believe we would have done that. That doesn't sound like something that a professional commentary team would have done.